use, it connects it to your listing, if it's your listing, or if you're on the buy side, it connects it to the property. And
It's easy button for gathering that. And yet, if you're not on a lot of platforms, you just put it on the platforms that you are. But for someone that's on multiple channels, you can see what a pain in the butt it is to grab all those. So it's kind of the easy button. And if you guys want, I can ask him to jump on with us one morning and talk about how he's using that. Jeff and I had a really interesting conversation Friday at the YPN launch. And he has a couple of friends that are really into SEO and Google and what's happening. And, I was telling him what I learned, I took 3 different classes, and he's like, oh yeah, and then this and this and this. And he hired a guy that does a lot of SEO for him. And his prediction, the guy that he met with, and this guy's really smart, like he's super duper successful, is that Zillow's out of business in less than 2 years. And, he had a lot of interesting information about that Zillow's not going to survive this. And they're still not profitable, and they're not really making any headway with their changes. And so if you guys want, I asked Jeff if he wouldn't mind sharing a little more on that. And he said, yeah, absolutely. So I'll book him to jump on one of our morning mojos to kind of share some of that with us, because it really will be that important for you to be in alignment with Google. And you guys know I'm preaching this already, because what am I trying to get you guys to do? Video on YouTube, which is really Google juice. If you think about it, it's the most impactful way for you to get high with Google is YouTube. So know that you're going to be hearing more and more of this, because Google with YouTube trying to take out Netflix, they're trying to take out Zillow too. And they already took out Yelp. Yelp is like nothing anymore. And it's because Google has positioned itself that, through any of their devices, you can get a Yelp as you're driving. You don't need to look for Yelp. It's yelping at you. So you look at this tech war, and there's a really great book I have. It's called, it's like The Four. That it goes through this, and not that you guys need another book to read, but I read all these books for you. It's called Four. There it is. You should see all the books I have.
Okay.
It's just a Keller Williams sharp object flying at me.
Most accidents happen at home. There you go.
Right. Yeah, my home office is The Four. This is a really interesting book, and it's about how these companies are intending to take over the universe, basically, and how they are. And it's Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple. But it's interesting because Google's whole play is in here, and it's exactly what they're doing, and it's working. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like almost guilty how much I buy from Amazon. It's like.
Yes, I invited the Amazon driver for Thanksgiving dinner. He's part of the family.
I feel so bad because, my dogs bark when the doorbell rings or someone knocks, and I don't want that to happen when I'm. So I have a Post-it note on our doorbell that says, shh, deliveries, no need to knock or ring. They must think we have a baby or something. It's just because I don't want the dogs barking, because I know there's going to be a box out there. Let's just be honest, right? I almost feel like we should have taken stock in cardboard. But yeah, so the thing is with tech, with you guys, is just remember, you want to be in alignment with Google, regardless if you like what they're doing or not. They're so far ahead, everybody. And I know that there's going to be some restrictions put on them, which I think are reasonable, because, we don't want AI changing the way we think and, getting raised too much. We want to be humans, let's be honest. But this is a really interesting book, and that's really the play that's being made. So there's going to be more and more on this, and know that it's going to be interesting, because some of these companies that still are not profitable are going to be called to the dance floor.
Hey, Jess, I have a Google My Business page, but I really don't understand it. I mean, is there a class or a video or something?
You can do a class on really getting your Google, because the thing is you guys used to, okay, and I know you're newer to the business, but let's just say, Greg, you were in the business as long as I have, for a time frame, when we just even say, like with what Scott brought up with testimonials or ratings, everyone raced to get all their rankings and ratings on Zillow. Well, now you don't want them on Zillow. You want them on Google, where you're in control. and Facebook where you're in control. It's your image, right?
Mhm.
Because we were just sending stuff to Zillow, our arch enemy, really, right? We're not helping ourselves. So things like that program that Scott mentioned are really helping us, because it's yet one more thing to do. Go get a rating, right? Go get a testimonial. It's like with all your free time, right? Yeah, zero free time. So, but if you were to put it anywhere, it would be Google and Facebook.
Mhm.
So that's what we're saying.
Right.
I've added some photos just of houses, just, on my Google My Business page. And I've gotten more views from it because they send you an email and tell you how many views you've gotten from it. And it really increased the amount of views just by adding pictures. So
Yeah, Greg, it's just like a Facebook business page.
Mhm.
That's all it is. It's similar to that, but it's a Google business page, and treat it the same way. Put posts, put pictures, and it's gonna be crazy just how many people start finding you. I'm like amazed. I got some followers.
Instant SEO, because Google loves your behavior. It's like they're rewarding you with more SEO, and it's free. And once you get SEO, you can't lose it. Yeah. So, if you think about it, you guys could do all these things. I'd almost rather have you put the blinders up and just get your database on neighborhood nurtures. And then anything you're making for content, post it on Facebook and save it on YouTube. And that's it. But the rest of it, put the little blinders up, because you guys could be doing stuff all day long, right? But if you're going to look at time spent, money earned, maximum response, that is it. So keep that in mind. And yet, sure, you can get on a Google rabbit hole, because Google Plus tried to take over Facebook. They kind of lost momentum and then I think changed course on that because it really never got anywhere. And yet I'm like, great, now I got 2 Facebooks to run, seriously? Like, I have time for that, right? Fair? Yeah. So I wouldn't get too far down that bunny hole, but yeah, you see that little bit of effort you made and how much you got from that. Just think if you just did that on YouTube. Right? So keep your head on straight. Don't try to do everything. Stefan, I want to make sure you're hearing this as someone new. Like, get your blinders on. It's your database, it's relationship and communication. Your communication cadence with the people you know and collect is the most important thing for your success in real estate. And there's not one way to do it. There's your way to do it. What way will you do it? And yet that business planning clinic is going to be very much about that. You're going to walk out of there and understand that there's different kinds of people and relationships in your business or in your database. How are you communicating with them and how are you staying in touch? That's what matters. And that's all that matters. Stefan?
So when I was with Kevin in class, I realized I have a great database, but my database is more on a nationwide level because I've traveled for the last 18 years. And there's not I don't have a lot in the Tampa Bay area. I have a great core, but I realized, like, wow, you're really spread out. How can I profit from that by having a nationwide database and not a great local database?
So let's just pretend you guys are my data bank and all of you live in different parts of the country, but I've got a relationship with you. I'm going to put you on a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture of where you live and where I live. And as soon as Greg all of a sudden starts looking at these houses in his neighborhood, I'm going to call him and be like, what's up, Greg? You thinking about doing something with your house? Great. I'm going to send you a couple of agents to interview and you're going to get the referral. And you can use the My Referral tab on command to find out in his neighborhood which realtors are actually selling, so that he's actually getting someone that knows his neighborhood that's successful there. And give them like 2 or 3 names to interview, because the consumer should choose. You shouldn't just assign them. What if they don't like the person? What if the chemistry's not there? What if they prefer a single agent versus a team so they don't get handed off, right? What if they prefer male over a female, or younger versus older versus younger? You don't want to guess. So that would be one thing. So get everybody on a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, and then taunt them with like St. Pete and Clearwater and have some fun with it so they can see where you are too, and they'll have fun with it. Second to that is get real serious about collecting people locally through Facebook ads, and then do like a BNI group. Think of a business group that could be bringing you 12 deals a year, not 1. And that's all I would focus on. And I would get that local to 400 as quickly as possible. And you can do that well. So if we just use that strategy that I suggested in the beginning, because you're great at marketing, that's like, you got it. You know what to do. It's not going to be like hard for you. Well, let's just say Greg, Juan, and I are 3 people, and Greg is insurance, and I'm mortgage, and Juan is home inspection. You know, you could partner with us who probably don't have a lot of marketing knowledge or time or like a date, like a command to do it from. And you can say, hey guys, I can hack into your Facebook, pull your audience, and I can put a database together that we can co-market to. Would you like me to help you with that? They're like, what can you do? Right? So think of that and look at how you could say Greg has 50 people and I have 50 people and one has 100 people. You got 200 people that you just adopted by helping us do what we should be doing too. Because when you take the business planning class, you will realize that that transcends every industry. So that's another thing to think of, guys. Who in your database might benefit from going to business planning with you? Because you know what? If I'm a lender and Greg's an insurance guy and Juan's a home inspector, when's the last time we slowed down long enough in our business to go to a business planning class? Years, maybe. And what kind of cool thing is that for you to bring that to them and say, hey, do you want to be my guest? Because this is totally a mirror image of your business. And then meet afterwards and collaborate. And then adopt their Rolodexes. And we can show you how to hack into Facebook and pull an audience. In fact, maybe I'll ask Ryan Yarbrough to pull that video together so you guys can pull your databases if you haven't yet. Cool. Well, I love this energy, guys. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the positive going. Say a prayer for baby Morgan for me. And don't forget about this storm. Don't get caught off guard. And if you need anything, reach out. We're here for you. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Jessica.